Yes, Eastleigh Dreamers, welcome back to another lesson with me, Tom. Today we're looking at the top 10 most creative British insults. So that if you want to call someone stupid or say that they're ugly in a really imaginative way, this is the video for you. Let's get going. Number 10, no oil painting. No oil painting. This is a great way to say that someone is ugly. Okay, because oil paintings, they're quite beautiful, right? But if you're saying someone is not an oil painting, then they're not beautiful. So they must be ugly. Look, mate, let's be honest. Your ex was nice, but she was not oil painting, was she? Ow, that stings, that hurts. But there's more. One of my favorites, to have a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp. To have a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp. Again, this means that someone is ugly, right? Imagine a bulldog trying to chew a wasp. It's not very beautiful, right? Don't get me wrong, right? You're a good looking guy, but in the morning, sometimes your face does look like a bulldog chewing a wasp. Just saying. Now, if you said that to someone, they'd be pretty insulted, okay? It's not terribly rude, you're not using any swear words, but it's a very creative way to say that someone is ugly. Now, there are variations of this. You could say you have a face like the back end of a bus. That's another nice one. You have a face like the back end of a bus. You don't, I'm not saying that you do, you're beautiful, don't get me wrong. But you can say it to someone else. Another variation is you have a face like a slapped ass. You have a face like a slapped ass. Use those with caution. Now, all 10 of these insults come from my brand new book. It's a guide to British English, and it's going to be out really soon. As soon as it's out, in fact, I'm going to put a link in the description below, so keep your eyes open. Okay, the next one, a big girl's blouse. Now, what's the meaning? Well, it would be directed towards a man who you think is weak and cowardly, and maybe doesn't have a high threshold for pain. Now, in this day and age, there are questions about, is this an acceptable phrase to use? Is it sexist? Because it's a phrase that's linking weakness and cowardice with a female item of clothing, and so perhaps it's time for us to stop using this phrase. So now I'm really intrigued to know what you guys think about this phrase. Is this just a fun, playful phrase? It's quite creative. Or is it a phrase that perhaps is a little bit sexist and a little bit old-fashioned? Is it a phrase that perhaps we should stop using? So I would love your opinions on this. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so an example sentence, maybe it's a winter's morning, it's really cold, and you're like, oh, I don't want to go and play football. And your mate says, come on, Tom, you big girl's blouse. Let's play some football. I guess a synonym would be wimp, a wimp. So perhaps just use the word wimp if you don't feel comfortable using this word. 2 sandwiches short of a picnic. That means that someone is a little bit crazy. They're not all together with it in their mind. Now, I love this phrase in the sense that it's very cultural, right? Because sandwiches, it's the food that we eat. We love sandwiches and we go for picnics. That's a very British thing. So if you're 2 sandwiches short of a picnic, it's not all there, right? It's incomplete. And maybe the person is a little bit crazy. Now, I'd love to know in your language, what would that be? It might not be 2 sandwiches short of a picnic. It might be 2 other things, maybe food items that are more common in your culture. So let me know in the comments below. Instead of 2 sandwiches short of a picnic, what would you say? Wait, come here. I swear, our boss is 2 sandwiches short of a picnic. Mental, mate. Now, a similar phrase to this is not the sharpest tool in the box. This means that someone's a little bit dumb, a bit stupid. Okay, so maybe someone's just joined your company and you're all talking about them and you're like, what do you think of Larry? Larry? He's not the sharpest tool in the box, is he? Kind of mean, but also kind of funny and creative, so yeah, we'll go with that one. We have 2 for 1. Okay, now we're talking here about England specifically. It's divided into the north and the south. Roughly, there is a line somewhere near Birmingham, and everything north of that is the north of England, and everything south of that is the south of England. Now, each has an insult for the other. So, in the south of England, people call the people from the north of England northern monkeys. In the north, they call the people from the south southern softies. Now, both are offensive. I'm not telling you to use them. I'm just raising your awareness, okay? So please don't go out there, start calling someone a southern softie or a northern monkey. You might offend someone, but they're phrases that exist, right? I guess the link here is that northern monkey people think maybe people are stupid, and then in the south, and then people from the north of England think that people from the south are a bit soft, a bit weak, a bit wimpy in some respects. Dead from the neck up. Dead from the neck up. I think you can imagine what this means. Stupid, right? Dead from the neck up. So your brain, there's nothing there. There's not nothing going on. Mate, I swear, that guy in the canteen, dead from the neck up. Honestly, nothing. Nothing. Dull as dishwater or dull as ditchwater, depending on what you say. I usually say dishwater. Basically, it means really boring. If someone's really boring, you say, wow, he is dull as dishwater. Like, he is so boring. Hey, mate, what do you think about Kate's new boyfriend? Yeah. He's dull as dishwater, mate. I believe he's so boring. Oh, my God. Yeah, what? Yeah, coming. We'll just, yeah. Oh, get back. Coming. Mad as a box of frogs. Mad as a box of frogs. You can imagine a box with lots of frogs in. They're going everywhere, they're jumping everywhere, they're kind of crazy. That's kind of what it means, right? Mad as a box of frogs. My old art teacher was mad as a box of frogs. You lot, all of you, you're as mad as a box of frogs. I have had it with you lot. Unbelievable. Now, what would that be in your language? Let me know. Is it mad as a different animal? You tell me. This is to insult a place. You would say it's the armpit of somewhere. So, for example, I might say, Norwich is the armpit of England. Actually, Birmingham is the armpit of England, but anyway. Like, it's the worst part of England. It's, if you think about an armpit under here, it's pretty gross, isn't it? Like, it's the part that you look at the least, you want to think about the least, you smells bad. You get the idea, right? So, Norwich is the armpit of England. Now, I'm not saying that for real. Yeah, he is saying that, actually. Norwich is a lovely place. Please go and visit there. But it's an example, okay? Norwich is the armpit of England. You could use it for anything though, right? You could say the United States is the armpit of the world. It's just an example, it's not my opinion, okay? So, you could have lots of creative ways to play with that, right? So the armpit of somewhere. So it could be a city, could be an area, could be a country, could be the world, whatever it might be. The armpit of something. 10 fantastically creative ways to insult someone. Now please, be careful with these phrases. Don't go around being offensive. Use them with people who would understand and not get offended by you, okay? Now please go out and insult. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, I've got a book coming out really soon. It's a guide to British English. These phrases will be in there along with so many more. I can't wait to show it to you guys. When it's out, the link will be below this video. Alright guys, thank you so much. This is Tom, the Chief Dreamer, saying goodbye.